In this video, I ranked all 33 main Cup Series drivers, so let's get into it. Number 33. Quin Houff. Where do I even start? This man is the king of messing things up. It always seems like he's trying his best, but sometimes your best is not enough. Where did Landon Cassill even go? I don't know. Why are we settling for Quin Houff? I really have no idea. Number 32. There's really not a lot to say about Brennan Poole. Sometimes he has a sponsor, sometimes he doesn't. But at least he doesn't get in the way of the leaders like other lap cars do. I think we're feeling pretty neutral about Brennan Poole. Number 31. Daniel Suarez, what do I even say? I am so disappointed. You take Carl Edwards' old ride and you do nothing with it. Now you find yourself on the 96 team, but I've got to hand it to you. You've had some good runs. But unfortunately, you're still the worst Toyota car by a landslide. Hopefully you'll have better luck at the 99 team. Number 30. Corey LaJoie. Man, I thought Corey LaJoie would be way higher in points than 30th. Unfortunately for Corey LaJoie, there's not been a lot to say about him. If you ever see his car on track, he's probably running that dark blue Trump paint scheme, and well, that's pretty much it. Number 29. Ryan Preece. The only moment I can really recall from your career is you crashing at Kansas, which is not very fantastic.
Fantastic.
Number 28. Matt Kenseth, oh buddy, old pal. You're sitting in 28th, but I have to give you some more credit than that because I know you have 4 less races than everyone else. But I definitely expected more out of Matt Kenseth this season, and I just wish you could have turned out to be like your teammate Kurt Busch this year. Number 27. John Hunter Nemechek. If there's an acronym to describe John Hunter Nemechek, it would be LOL. And in real life, LOL. Laugh out loud. The first time I really heard about John Hunter Nemechek was this incident in the Truck Series. And a few weeks ago you had this incredible save for NASCAR fans all across the world to see. One thing for sure is that I'm not impressed. Number 26. Dillon has actually not been so bad this season. I mean, he has a stage win, but the unfortunate reality is that I don't know where he's going to end up next year. Number 25. Ryan Newman will only ever be known for 2 main things in his entire career. Those 2 things are 1, getting poles, which doesn't happen anymore, and number 2 is flipping upside down. I don't know what it is with Ryan Newman, but he seems to have the lightest car in the field somehow, but I believe there's a good chance he's probably been upside down in official NASCAR races, more so than any NASCAR driver ever. In fact, I'd really love to see the stats on this. Number 24. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., also given the name Recky Spinhouse Jr., is very commonly known for wrecking his race car. Lucky for you folks at home, I've made a little compilation to help you get a better idea of what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, I mean, look how close he is. And it just, basically, that just packs air like Larry was talking earlier. There, now he gets a run, gets into the corner. Oh, same exact situation.
Which implies huge push. And allows a 2. Too big of a push.
Drag that back. Caution, there it is.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. around. The tire finally goes down.
Number 23. If Michael McDowell's 2020 season has been memorable for anything, it's how good he's been on road courses this year and wrecking Bubba Wallace at the Bristol Showdown. But for McDowell, it wasn't a total loss. He even received a little gift back at the hauler. Number 22. This is a perfect segue into our next driver, Bubba Wallace. Now, Bubba Wallace has had an eventful year, lots of main sponsors like DoorDash, Cash App. I'm really still trying to figure out what color his DoorDash car is, because at Richmond I couldn't really tell if it was orange or red. To me it kinda looked like it was changing colors throughout the race. But with the big news that Bubba Wallace is driving for Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan's team next year, this is a big step in his career and maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to contend for wins. Number 21. Christopher Bell, our second worst Toyota on the board. I personally feel like the only time I ever see Christopher Bell on camera is when he's spinned around the opposite direction from every other car in the field, which is typically not a good thing. I feel like Christopher Bell wrecks a lot more than he should. And what has he done to earn the 20 car next season? Yeah, I don't really know either. Maybe I should just call this video roasting every NASCAR driver. Just know it's all a joke for content. As we near into top 20 on our list, this is a perfect time for me to ask you to subscribe to this channel. Subscribing is free, so if you like this channel, there's no reason not to do it. And maybe give me a thumbs up too. Thanks, that would be greatly appreciated. Number 20. Chris Buescher. Buescher's had a career that's been relatively uninteresting since he joined the NASCAR Cup Series. His main accomplishment is winning a Pocono race that got fogged or rained out, whichever one of the 2 it was. But yeah, other than that, pretty uninteresting and quiet career. Number 19. I have to say, Tyler Reddick's been pretty good so far. He's been about a top 16, 17 driver this season. I definitely feel like he's had a good season, except for when he wrecked Kyle Busch at Daytona. And he didn't just wreck Kyle Busch, to be fair, he wrecked pretty much the whole field. But that's okay, because, I mean, everybody's a rookie at some point in their career. And I can assure you that Tyler Reddick is not alone, and that multiple drivers have probably wrecked themselves or wrecked other drivers at some point. Number 18. This year is going to be so sad if Jimmie Johnson doesn't get a final win. It's crazy to me how much you can just win throughout your entire career, literally like 5 championships in a row, you know? And then all of a sudden for like 3 years straight, you just sit in a corner and don't do anything. I really don't even think this is Jimmie Johnson's fault. It must be some sort of like equipment issue at Hendrick. But yeah, I really like Jimmie Johnson, and hopefully he can win once more in his NASCAR Cup Series career. Number 17. Erik Jones, I also have to say something about him is that I'm not really impressed with what he's done so far in his Cup Series career. The most impressive thing was probably winning the 2020 Clash. I don't know how you win a race with that much damage, probably from the help from Denny Hamlin, but you know, I guess this is where you look and say, well, maybe we should give Christopher Bell a chance in the 20 car. I guess it will be interesting to see what Christopher Bell can do, but Erik Jones took a slight downgrade, I would argue, from going from the Joe Gibbs 20 car to the 43 at RPM. It's still kind of weird for me to think that Erik Jones is going to race the 43. That combo just in my mind doesn't really fit together right now, but I guess I'll give him a chance. The playoff 16. Cole Custer, congratulations on your Kentucky win. I guess that's really all there is to say. There's not much more to say about a middle-of-the-pack driver. Number 15. Matt DiBenedetto, future NASCAR Cup Series champion. Just kidding, or am I kidding? I guess I'm kind of impressed with DiBenedetto so far. As explained in an earlier video, I think he'll get a win pretty soon. Number 14. Well, hey, it looks like Clint Bowyer's in a pretty good spot, driver of the number 14 car. So that car's going to chase Briscoe next year. And just pretty recently, Clint Bowyer told everybody that he was retiring from NASCAR racing and that he was going to join the Fox Sports booth. I don't know what it is, but my favorite drivers have a thing for telling their fans that they're going to retire either 3 races before the end of the season or just after the end of the season, then we never hear from them again. Carl Edwards. But I guess that booth with Jeff Gordon and Clint Bowyer will be pretty interesting. Number 13. Aric Almirola, the guy who would always get the pole every single week because of random qualifying draws earlier in the season. I don't know how he did it. Luckily, they changed the qualifying format, so it's like a mixture of previous race, or I forget all what it is. But I remember people used to make jokes about the random qualifying draw being sponsored by Smithfield because Aric Almirola would literally always get the pole or like a top 5 position. But yet again, another quiet and a driver that really hasn't had a lot going on in this season. Number 12. William Byron, whose racing career started on a computer. It's no secret why William Byron won the Daytona race this year. With all that practicing on iRacing, drafting, and slingshotting, there's no real question as to why William Byron's first career win came at a superspeedway. Fun fact, I actually raced the 87 cars on iRacing with William Byron before. That was pretty cool. Number 11. Ryan Blaney. It looked like the start of his season was going to be super promising. The first few races had some outstanding performances, including how he almost won the 2020 Daytona 500. But what I can recall most from his 2020 season is how he ran that amazing Kobe Bryant tribute paint scheme. That paint scheme has to get like paint scheme of the year in my book. I love the snake scale design on that car, and the fade from purple to yellow is just amazing. Unfortunately for Blaney, he's had some tougher luck in the later half of the season, and especially in the playoffs. Number 10. I never thought we'd see Austin Dillon in the top 10, but hey, I mean, it's 2020, right? I'm not even gonna lie, the start of Austin Dillon's playoffs this year was pretty good. For a moment, I actually kind of thought he was gonna make the top 8 in the playoffs. But with that being said, being spun at Charlotte didn't really help. Number 9. Kyle Busch has definitely not had a good season, and it's crazy to me that he still hasn't won a race this season. Unfortunately for Kyle, he has 6 DNFs. He ended up getting knocked out of the playoffs in the round of 12. Hopefully next season will be way better for him, and hopefully NASCAR will have practice in qualifying, because I think that's really what benefits Kyle the most. Number 8. Kurt Busch. I don't know really how you're going to do this, man, but I really hope you advance into the round of 4, and I just realized I may post this video after the end of the season. I'm recording it between the Texas and Martinsville races. But anyways, RawGator from 2 weeks ago says that he hopes you have good luck and he hopes you win Martinsville. If not, I mean, oh well, it was a pretty good run. Number 7. Martin Truex Jr., you're 7th in points. Pretty good job, you know, you're a good driver. It wouldn't even surprise me if he won at Martinsville because, you know, he's just fast on short tracks. He was the winner of Martinsville earlier in the season, so why not do it again? Alex Bowman is kind of like the odd one out in this situation. I don't know how he's doing so good, to be honest. honest with you. He's got to win at Auto Club, and generally I kind of like Alex Bowman, but nonetheless, very surprising season by him. Number 5. Joey Logano, congratulations on your Kansas win. Besides the package being kinda doo-doo, I have to say it was a good drive by Joey Logano to actually hold off Kevin Harvick. Even though it wouldn't have happened had dirty air not been a huge factor, he still did very well in knowing which lines to run to prevent Harvick from passing him. Number 4. Number 4 is Chase Elliott. I feel obligated to say very nice things about him because I know there's a lot of Chase Elliott fans out there. So, Chase Elliott, you're doing a good job. But on a serious note, I don't know how anyone's going to beat Chase Elliott on road courses. He seems to have those places figured out. It's a lot like Jeff Gordon early in his NASCAR Cup Series career. Number 3. Brad Keselowski is really a driver that I've grown to actually kind of like. I've learned that Brad Keselowski is actually a pretty respectful driver. Whenever he's interviewed, he actually remembers like the reporters' names and everything, which is awesome. You can tell that he doesn't really have like a huge ego, and he kind of treats all people the same, you know? Plus, some of his interviews are actually pretty funny. I'll probably put 2 or 3 of them here.
I think they should take the rule book, tear half the pages out of it, and go race. You got too many damn rules, too many lucky dogs, wave arounds. There's so much stuff going on. The drivers don't know what's going on, and NASCAR don't know what's going on. There's too many rules. You know, Dave, I'm just not wrecking enough people. I need to wreck more people so they'll stop throwing bad blocks. And that's what's happening to me on the plate track. So, you know, everybody that's watching, all them drivers out there, throw another bad block. I mean, I'm just going to drive through you and wreck you, so look out and tailgate.
So yeah, in conclusion, Brad Keselowski equals good. Number 2. So Denny Hamlin is one of only 2 drivers that have had just a season much better than everyone else, to say the least. And I can't imagine if him or number 1 on this list don't end up making the Final 4 in the playoffs. I think this playoff system is very flawed. The concept I've always had in my head is you could literally win all 35 races. The first 35 races of the season, you could win each and every one of them. And then if you get second at Homestead, you could lose the championship. In my mind, that's very flawed. You could also do it the other way around. You could run like, I don't know, 16th all season long, and then you can kind of get by in the playoffs, and then you could win Homestead somehow. I mean, Newman kind of almost did that, and you could be the champion. It's very flawed, and I don't really like it. But Denny Hamlin seems to have restrictor plate races figured out. He won Talladega earlier this year, which, did he really win it? Debatable. But I mean, 3 Daytona 500s kind of late in his career. I mean, that's pretty good. Number 1. Number 1 on this list is Kevin Harvick. He might break into the double digits for wins, which I mean is pretty crazy. He's been by far the most dominant driver this season, leading over 400 more laps than any other driver, and I think he is the easy favorite for the NASCAR Cup Series championship this season. Please let me know what you guys think about said drivers, and know that if I made fun of your driver, it's pretty much just a joke. Most of these drivers I joked about I kind of relatively like, as a matter of fact. But if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button, like the video. But yeah, this video was really fun to make, and I hope you enjoyed it.